Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Rebecca with Red True Crime. So, uh, if you are new to this, thank you for checking me out. I cover everything crime wise, old, new, current, whatever. I cover it. Um, and if you saw me before, thanks again for coming and check me back out. So, I was live earlier today, and I want to take a moment to apologize for my way I was speaking. I was very free, I was very loose with my words, and, I was using a lot of, expletive language regarding the event I was talking about, which we're gonna talk about more tonight. But, I'm more professional than that, I'm classier than that, and I apologize for even speaking that way. But when it comes to seeing kids act out the way these kids did, I got incensed, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm taking a moment here to apologize for my verbiage. Okay, so yesterday, Korshonda Hatter, 33-year-old woman from Chicago, was walking her children home from school when and they were attacked by a group of kids. In the video, they appear to be anywhere from like 8 years old all the way up to maybe 14 or 15 years old. Um, they had a severe beatdown, she and the children. She especially and her son, because they were and you come to find out for the last couple of years, her son's been bullied relentlessly for the last couple of years, and she's been up to the school and she's talked to people, but nothing seems to make a difference. So I'm gonna show this video again. I showed it earlier, but I'm showed again for those who have not seen it. But here you go. It's pretty disturbing, and I would understand if you can't watch all of it. It's like a couple minutes long, but it's very disturbing. Now, the person filming is one of the kids in the video.
Come on, blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Ma. Look at them ankles, blood. Shamar looking at.
Junior.
Junior.
Bitch. Why you hit my son?
Hey, foot, don't touch my brother, foot.
Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck.
Look at them bitches, Greg. Crackhead.
You see him crying. This was ridiculous.
Other bitches, Mar. What's his ass? What's his ass? Damn.
The fact that they circled and around them is just crazy.
Oh my God, damn. Damn.
We're not hitting them. The little kids hitting them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them.
I'm saying,
The little
what?
I was gonna smash that bitch on my brother. Damn. Crack. Damn. Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go.
And he's stomping on him, hitting her, Her son's screaming, trying to get to her. Now you see him get slammed to the ground.
Damn.
This whole thing
They
is
working
disgusting.
us. They working us. Damn. Oh my God. Dang.
Look at this lady. So
Okay. So you see it. I commented on it. I was enraged. Never in my history have I ever seen kids act that way, not like in a huge group like that, especially on an adult. That threw me. I mean, they should not have been messing with the kid to begin with. So let me start with the kids. You saw them. They were young. I mean, like I said, there were some that looked like they couldn't be more than 8 years old. some that look to be maybe a bit older, 13, 14, 15. Hi, everybody who's just now joining me. Um, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I used to teach. I used to work in education years ago. I left in 2012. And one of the main reasons I left was it's a lot of work for not a lot of support. And I was seeing more and more kids acting out and parents not taking accountability for why their kids were acting out. And it's even worse now because you've got kids who are acting like this in the classroom, attacking teachers. Now they're following kids home and attacking parents. When does this stop? What's even worse is that some of the parents of these kids, because the kid who's filming this thought he would be just a class act and uploaded this video to the internet, and now it's gone viral. So not only did he show how bad this whole thing was, thinking it was a cool thing to do, now he's given the police and everybody else evidence to arrest his butt and everybody else who's part of this thing, as they should. But the question is, what do we do now? Because with each generation, the kids are getting worse. So imagine this. You've got children acting this way now at this such a young age. Mom and dad are not putting a foot down on them to get them to act right. So then these kids get old enough. Actually, let me say this. If these kids get old enough, because of the way they're acting, they're going to come across the wrong person, they're going to get killed. Just going to throw that out there. So if they get old enough, they're going to have kids of their own, and this behavior is going to get worse because they're going to do the same thing. They're not going to manage their children. They're going to let them just do whatever the heck they want. And then you're going to see something even worse. Or these kids here, because, you know, they're not being held accountable at all by the school, by their own parents. One of these days, these kids are going to get a hold of a knife or a gun, and they're going to kill somebody. This is where this is amping up. And it's insane. But why are they doing this? I don't know. I don't know why they decided to follow this kid home, all like 12 to 15 of these kids. Were they just gonna stop him to death? Like, what was gonna happen? You know? What was gonna happen? And then I'm seeing the parents of these kids making comments saying, "Don't come after mine. You come after mine, you're coming after me. You know, you come after my kid, I'll be fighting somebody, I don't care who it is." So that big talk. Not, "Hey, I'm sorry my child acted this way. This is not how we raised them." None of that. Not a single bit of that. I take that back. There's been a few parents that have reached out to the mother and apologized and said, "I don't know why they did this. This is not how we raised them." If you didn't raise them this way, then you need to find out who the hell they're hanging out with because there's a disconnect here somewhere. But you guys tell me, what do you think? Do you think these kids and the parents should be arrested? What do you think? I would love to know because, like, I know today, like, this happened yesterday. This beatdown happened yesterday. Today, the entire community came out in support of this mother and her children at the school. They were protesting. Cops were there. I mean, cops weren't there like trying to disrupt anything. They were just making sure it stayed calm, like it stayed peaceful. And the kids were there. They went on and on. Or, these people were there going on and on, like no justice, no peace, no whatever. So I would love to know. I mean, it's plain to say you can see the faces of every kid in this video. What's going to happen? I did read somewhere where the kids were already suspended, but I can't confirm that because it seems kind of quick for them to have already been suspended at this point. But people are reaching out and giving support to this woman. A rapper from Chicago is offered to help and give them money and bring them out to LA for like a dinner and all kinds of stuff. And there is a GoFundMe, but the mayor of Chicago has made a statement. He said, Mayor Brandon Johnson, let's see, we can show a picture of him real quick. Which file? This is Mayor Brandon Johnson. released the following statement condemning the attack. I was deeply disturbed to see the video of young people attacking a mother and her child on the far south side yesterday afternoon. That type of behavior is unacceptable in our city, and we must not normalize that type of senseless violence. Leaders from my office have been on the ground all day to coordinate with CPS, CPD, and CHA to respond to this incident. CPD has deployed additional resources to the area to maintain public safety, and we are working with CHA on additional measures to support the family. We have also activated support from community based organizations that focus on youth services and violence prevention to provide safe passage for students and families at this school. I will continue to monitor this situation closely as I get updates from the ground and as the investigation unfolds. It is critical that we provide the necessary resources to our public education system so that every school community has counselors and mental health professionals. We must redouble our efforts to teach our young people that violence is never an acceptable response. Our students and families should always feel safe on their way to and from school, and we must make the critical investments necessary to make that a reality in every part of our city. I am grateful for the community residents who have rallied to support the family, and I'm calling for a calm as we conduct a full investigation and ensure there is accountability for the attackers and healing for the victims. So, there you have it. That is the mayor of Chicago making a statement. So, that's great. You're asking for accountability. That's great that you're offering support. That's great. But you have a systemic problem here. And it's not just in Chicago, it's in Cleveland, it's in Miami, it's in Cincinnati, it's in Los Angeles. The youth of today feel that they are entitled to act and talk to whoever they want, however they want, and behave any way they want. Nobody is sitting down on their kids. Nobody is sitting on their kids. I see this video and I think back to my own parents and my father. I wasn't a bad kid, but I had my moments of as getting out of pocket, so to speak. And my father always made the statement to me. He said, "Becky, if you don't calm down, I'm gonna make your butt match your hair." That was something he used to say. And I knew not to misbehave, you know? I knew because there would be consequences for the bad behavior. But who's to say, you know, are these kids getting any consequences? Are they dealing with single parent households where there's not a whole lot of supervision? These are not excuses, and I cannot excuse any of this behavior from these kids. But there has to be an answer as to what the hell is going on, and there has to be a way to fix it because you cannot have another generation come up because they're going to be worse than these heathens out there. They're going to be way worse. And I'm telling you, every podcaster, every YouTuber, every TikToker, everybody's talking about this, and everybody is angry as all get out. And what's even worse is that you've got people who live in the area that are screenshotting faces out of this video and posting it on Facebook, and they are tracking down these kids and they're tracking down their parents. They are putting their names out there. So, it's going to another level. I'm afraid of vigilantism, to be honest with you. And I'm not sitting there saying that these kids who did this don't deserve to have their butts whooped severely. Also, I believe that they should be in some type of juvenile detention, and the parents should be charged as well because I'm sorry, growing up, if you didn't go to school, they came after your parents too because they felt it was the parents' responsibility to get your butt in school, and if they didn't do it, then they were responsible for you not being in school, therefore they would charge, and it was a whole thing. So they did that when I was growing up, and they still do it now in some states. This should be on the same level. If your kid's acting out, then the parents need to be held accountable. That way there's more investigation. What's the problem? What's going on? Maybe they don't need to be criminally charged, but maybe they need other resources. I don't know what the answer is, but my point is more people need to be involved and they need to figure out what the hell is going on with the youth of today because it scares the living hell out of me. I'm not going to lie. My oldest daughter is in college right now to be a teacher. This scares me. Her going, when she graduates here in a couple years, her going out there into this world with kids like this. This scares the living hell out of me. You've got a kid in Newport News, Virginia that brought a gun to school, 1st grade, shot his teacher in the hand. That woman just got a $10 million lawsuit settlement, you know? You've got 3 kids in Cleveland that lured an autistic 5-year-old and sexually assaulted her, beat her, strangled her, and left her for dead. Those kids were 8, 9, and 10. Where the hell did they learn how to do any of that stuff? And it goes on and on and on. And you can't sit there and tell me these kids were just born bad. There has to be more to this as to why they're acting this way and why they're doing these things. And I'm sorry, your kid commits murder, you need to get looked at because somebody did something. Somebody rung a bell. I don't know what it was, but something more needs to be done. Because every time I see this video, I get more angry than the time before. And that woman didn't deserve that. Her kids didn't deserve that. And those nasty monsters, they need to be literally put in the public um center and just flogged in front of the whole world, beaten with bamboo sticks. That's what they do in Asia. You screw up, you get put in the stocks in the public and you're tied down and they just beat you with bamboo. Hi Lucas. That's what they do. And I'm not opposed to that. I dare say that happens to you once, you probably won't screw up again. I'll say that because I know when I got spanked, I mean, I can count on the times of like one hand, which was like once I got smacked with a belt one time. One time. I never screwed up again. Never. True story. Some people it takes more, than one whack with a belt, but I'm just saying. But no, 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 no. But had those kids not stopped, they could have severely injured those people, those kids. That woman, her kids, they could have ended up in the hospital. And the thing is, she has sickle cell anemia. She's a very weak, medically fragile individual. And she took a beating like that from those little pugs. I hope something is resolved. I know the mother and the father of those children that were attacked. They had a meeting today at the school with the principal and some other people from the administration. Don't know what the details of that is at all. But I don't know how much the school can do because this beating happened off school grounds. So, but the bullying's been ongoing in the school for the last couple of years, and according to the mother, Korshanda, nothing's been done. And I can speak to that to a degree because, I have had to deal with bullying crap with my kids. My oldest child, he is autistic, and, we dealt with a lot of bullying, on him, and I could not tell you how many times I sent messages to the teacher and I called the principal and all that, and then when I finally oh, thank you, Porky. Um, and when I finally got a hold had a meeting with them and I get told, "Oh, we know nothing about this. You've not reported anything." And I'm so glad that I emailed because had I not done that, there would have been no paper trail whatsoever about what I was concerned about. And I would throw that down, they would just like, "Oh, yeah. Let's, do something about this." So, parents, you are the best advocate for your children. No one else is gonna do it for you. But you also can be the worst thing for your children as well if you don't lay down the hammer. And I'm gonna say that right now. I am proud to say all 3 of my kids that were in school never were a behavior problem. Not saying I'm perfect, but I did not tolerate nonsense. And you can ask any teacher that had any of them, not a single one of them was a behavior problem. Not a single one. So, that's all I have to say. And I honestly believe there's too many parents today that just don't wanna be parents. They have kids, they don't wanna raise them, and that's a sad state of affairs because we're raising a generation of Oh, what's the words I want to use here? Um, unemotional, well, I shouldn't say unemotional and angry. Angry, impulsive, scary young people that you never know what they're gonna do, and that scares me. That scares me. And I know I showed this video and people are saying, "Well, you're only seeing this about the black kids." No, this is happening everywhere, all races, all genders. Kids are acting out everywhere, everywhere, and parents are making excuses for this behavior. And we need to put our foot down and say, "This is enough. No more. Your kid's an asshole. Let's fix that." Don't make an excuse for them, just fix it, you know? That's something that needs to be done. Teachers need to feel safe in their work environment, kids need to feel safe to go to school, and the kids that are a problem need to be dealt with accordingly. So, that's all I have to say tonight. So, this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm gonna hop off here. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And it's very helpful when I'm talking about missing person cases or even cases where someone's been found deceased and we don't know why and we need to know if anybody knows anything. So if you subscribe and you share and you comment and you like and all that stuff, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok or Instagram, on any of them, share, comment, like, subscribe, follow, all that. Because the algorithm gets it out there, and then more people are aware of what's going on. And somebody might know something. You never know. So, as I sign off, everyone be safe. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for the support. And please be careful and please talk to your children and let them know what it is about respect and empathy and conflict resolution. That's key. So, as I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe. Because if you're weird and rude, you won't get taken. Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.